So next up from the Cumberland Museum, we have Colleen Dane.
Substituting.
Yeah, I'm not Colleen. Colleen would very much like to be here. She's trying to be in 8 different places, and she's probably going to walk up in the middle of me talking and pretending to be here. I've worn just about every hat you can with the Cumberland Museum. I've been a committee member for Miners Memorial Day for about 17 years. Been at every Songs of the Workers for 19. Got to serve a little stint as executive director when we were trying to switch things up a bit, do some contract work here and there. I'm not exactly sure who I am with the Cumberland Museum right now, but I have this privilege of getting to be this voice, maybe of a volunteer, and maybe as an example of a very unorganized one. And I mean that in the context of the organization. We're an unorganized entity that hangs out and does work in honor and celebration of the work of all of you as the labor movement, and with huge acknowledgement of what a huge part of our past that is, and huge acknowledgement of what a huge part of our present and what a difficult time it is. And I guess we want to say as a museum a huge thank you, because when you come together to celebrate labor and workers, you're contributing in a huge way to our small little town museum that's doing our best in our way to celebrate and promote social justice, to celebrate and promote the contribution of working people who built Cumberland, to celebrate and promote the community now that is coming together to celebrate the environment and social justice and cultural diversity and gender awareness. And Cumberland's a pretty amazing place. And the fact that you all come every year to our museum and our community is a reflection of our character, and we consider you part of our community and part of our museum. And on behalf of the board and staff and unorganized and unpaid volunteers of that organization, much gratitude to all of you for your work yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and we're proud to stand with you. Thank you.
So again, I bring greetings from the Campbell River Courtenay and District Labour Council. Welcome to the 29th Annual Miners Memorial Weekend. Here we are commemorating the miners who were killed or injured in Cumberland coal mines in the early 1900s. And we're also here to renew our community's commitment to safe workplaces, justice, and bread and roses for all. We've seen an onslaught of anti-union legislation shoved through by both our federal and provincial governments with little or no debate. Massive ongoing media campaigns to demonize unions have made it more difficult to educate not only the general public, but our rank and file members. The CLC and union affiliates are fighting back with the Fairness Now campaign aimed at engaging and educating, first and foremost, our members. We continue to battle neoconservative governments as they continually make a farce of our political and judicial systems. The robocall scandal of the last federal election has never been properly investigated, leaving one to wonder if a fair election is even possible. Our Senate has seen one scandal after another. Few and fewer days are spent debating legislation in both our legislature and Parliament, highlighting the abuse of power with no accountability. Underfunding and dismantling of healthcare, education, social services in the push to privatize our public services has all these areas stretched to the breaking point. Once internationally recognized for the quality of services, this is sadly changing. Canadians' most revered service, public health care, has not seen the health care accord renewed that expired at the end of March. Shame is right. And currently there is a court case that will be in September, the Brian Daly court case. who is trying to take us back to a two-tiered healthcare system. Again, shame. Long-term care facilities across BC are being bought by private companies who've contracted out the work, reduced wages, union busted, and benefits, and disrupted the lives of the people who helped build this province, our seniors. Shame. Public sector workers have been amongst those hardest hit. These cuts have gone hand in hand with deregulation to reduce oversight of health and safety, not only in our jobs, but in industry, our food and water inspection, air and ocean traffic, and unbiased science-based recommendations. We've seen a blatant abuse of the temporary foreign worker program, where skilled Canadian workers were available and denied the work. TFWs are often paid less with little or no benefits, work longer hours in substandard conditions. They are vulnerable and deserve to be treated like any other Canadian worker. Perhaps Labor's greatest internal challenge is the environment versus jobs debate. Quite frankly, we no longer have the luxury of continuing this debate. Whether you believe in climate change or not, anyone can see our planet has been forever altered by unprecedented resource extraction and burning of fossil fuels. Many other countries, including the US, have realized the future is in renewable, sustainable energy and have started to make the shift. Not so in Canada. We remain poised, waiting for Stephen Harper to make a decision on pipelines after little public or unbiased scientific input and massive public outcry. Christy Clark's pie-in-the-sky liquid natural frack gas plans are underway, with a plant slated to open in Campbell River by Quicksilver. Not only does this raise environmental concerns for the health of our community, but also concerns for our fresh water supply. On the justice front, perhaps most profound was the final event in Edmonton of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where Chief Sean Atleo spoke of the need for Canadians to respect and recognize First Nations as peoples and respect and implement their inherent rights, treaties, and title. With the rise of awareness and the conditions of many First Nations reservations, there has been a renewed movement for the removal of the Indian Act and respect for treaties. It is a travesty that there has been little movement to address and fully investigate the missing and murdered Aboriginal women along the highways of Tears and beyond. We must not let our governments continue to treat our First Nation people as disposable and invisible. As Vancouver District Labour Council President Joey Hartman said earlier in a workshop, despite our numerous battles, there is hope. As Occupy movements spread across the planet, people en masse heard, we are the 99%, and a greater awareness continues to evolve. Our young people are rising in grassroots movements like Occupy and Idle No More. As unionists, we must listen to their vision and invite them into our conversations. Although we will continue to educate our members and work for progressive governments, we must, in the words of Margaret Mead, never depend on institutions or government to solve any problem. All social movements are founded by, motivated by, and seen through by the passion of individuals. And brothers and sisters, that's you and me. Solidarity. Up next is Paul Farrow, Secretary-Treasurer of QPBC.
Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. Again, my name is Paul Farrow, Secretary-Treasurer of the Canadian Union of Public Employees, British Columbia Division, and I'm honored to be here in what an event that we can never forget about, and what we need to celebrate the fights that we've had over the years, and more importantly, look forward to the things that we need to do collectively. I first would like to give greetings from our President, Mark Hancock, our Provincial Executive Board, and our 85,000 members. We are pleased again to be here. We're thrilled that we could bring our little community events trailer. A trailer, if you don't know, was built 100% union-made, all parts in North America, and we're very proud to have it here today. I want to thank, this event takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work by hardworking individuals to organize it, put all the information out. And it's really, we have to acknowledge those people, because we can't leave it up to our provincial government, our current provincial government, to help us remember the history and the importance of our history. In schools, when I was growing up, unfortunately, we don't do a good enough job teaching labor history in our schools. And I learned labor education through being in my workplace, being mentored by progressive sisters and brothers, and taught the values of trade unionism and collective action. And it appalls me that one of the first things that the current provincial government did in 2001, one of the first things that they did with the stroke of a pen was rename the highway from Jínjrgودوین Way. Absolutely, sisters and brothers, shame. It tells me that we have to work harder. We have to work harder to ensure that who we elect in governments can't, by a cabinet order, a stroke of a pen, or a simple vote, take away the memories and the fights that people before us have done, fought for, died for, to ensure that we have the living that we have today. And I want to say, again, moving forward, this struggle, we're all in. We have to work harder. We have an opportunity in November with local community elections across our province to ensure that we elect people who have the same values as we do, wanting a fair, just society, a society that looks after everyone, that remembers the fights that we've had of how we've got here today. And so let's work hard together in November, sisters and brothers. Our union is going to be putting in unprecedented levels of resources to ensure that we do that. I'm so, again, proud to be here today, standing right in front of Ginger's gravesite. The spirit and the energy that I'm getting from that empowers me, and I know is reflecting on you. Sisters and brothers, together, we can move forward, and I know we will. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. All right, next up, we have from the Comox Valley District Teachers Association, Steve Stanley.
Greetings, everybody. Steve Stanley sends his regrets. My name is Nick Moore. I'm the incoming president of the Comox District Teachers Association. So, thank you. We were a little bit busy yesterday, so I'm sorry that we weren't able to be at the conference, but we're standing up right now. We need a fair deal. We need a fair deal for our teachers, and we need better supports for students, because we're standing here at the foot of Jínjrgودوین's grave, and we're standing up for the workers, not just for today, we're standing up for the future of tomorrow. So thank you to all union members, thank you to CUPE, thank you to PCGEU, thank you to Unifor, thank you to all of the union members that have been out supporting us on the picket lines in the last 3 weeks. We hope we don't need your support starting next week. We hope we can get a fair deal as soon as we can. And we just need this provincial government to get to the table and give us what everybody needs. Welcome to the Comox Valley. I'm glad to see everybody here. And we look forward to working with all of you in the labor process moving forward. So thank you very much for inviting me, and have a great weekend.
Okay, we're just going to make some adjustments with some mics, and next up we will have solidarity notes.